In one of the last videos, you heard childcare tales from the Vanderlons. I told you about what we did, what worked, what didn't work, the mistakes we made, what was super expensive, and what was affordable. And at the end, I gave you some tips as to how to find childcare that is best for you, your child, your situation. I just want to iterate there is a framework for this. There's a way to think about childcare and to get the best deal and still get what you want. There are just a few steps. The first one, think about your child and think about what are the non-negotiables for you. When we were looking for daycare for all of, both of our children, we visited in and around and had some non-negotiables. Some people's non-negotiables are must have windows, must be able to go outside, must have a large place to play. Some non-negotiables people have are you must have a classroom size under 10, or have a particular kind of expert on site, et cetera, et cetera. So the very first step is to write down your non-negotiables. That will help you weed out options, weed out facilities that are not right for you. The second step is to start looking around. Start looking around. And I'll show you my budget right here. You can see I looked around. This is a few years old, but I looked around at our local child care centers. We were looking at au pairs. We were looking at child care centers. We were looking for all different things. We crossed out nanny because around here that's $20 to $30 an hour, and that was a little too much. We work a lot, so that was a little too much. And we started calling around. So step 2, start calling around. Start understanding how much, what the benchmark is around what it costs to be there. If you get them on the phone, they'll tell you how much it is. Very few people will post this on their website, if they have a website at all. The third step is to think of other options. So we had to go through step 1, step 2, and step 3 when we had our second child, because the options we knew about, the options we could Google, the options we were calling around about were too expensive. It was going to be $4,000 a month for childcare, and where we lived for our 2 kids, and we couldn't do that. That was too much. That's a lot of money. So we weren't going to do that. We thought of different options. What are we not thinking about? And talked to a bunch of people. We spoke around. We got other people's opinions. You only know what you know, and you don't really know what you don't know. So we asked. We asked our friends. We asked our parents. We asked people in church. We tried to think outside the box. This was a topic of discussion at the dinner table. This is a topic of discussion in the morning. I mean, we were trying to figure out how to get our childcare costs from the projected $4,000 a month down a lot lower, so that we could, pay our mortgage. So we could both still work. So my husband could do his ministry instead of taking care of our kids 24/7. Not 24/7, but like 8 hours a day. So that's step 3. And then step 4 is decide. You have to decide. Think through all your options. If you're married, talk it through with your spouse. Put it all out there, pros and cons of each option. This is not just a financial decision. This is a decision about the well-being of your household and the safety of where you're placing your child. So put all the pros and cons out there. Really make a determination. I pray about it. We prayed a lot about this. God opened doors. I won't say because of our prayer, but God opened doors because He loves us and He cares about us. So we prayed and tried to figure it out. So part of decide, step 4, is just look through everything, pray about everything if you're a Christian, and then settle on an option. Now, there's an iffy step 5 here. You might, if you have kids already, you know this, there are waiting lists. There are waiting lists for daycare. I didn't know that when we first had our first child. There are waiting lists. So if you're deciding, part of that decision is to rank them. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, you need a lot of options here. Rank them, then call up, talk through their waiting list. I'm X number of months pregnant. Should be when you're like 4 or 5 months pregnant. You're starting to call around. I'm X number of months pregnant. We're going to have our baby at this time. We need daycare to start around this date. What does your waiting list look like? Can we visit? They'll tell you they can't sign you on until you visit. Here in Massachusetts, anyway. I don't know how it works in the other states. You can just call and ask. So you're going to be calling anyway. So through all that, after you decide and rank them, get on a waiting list. We got on 3 waiting lists and then took ourselves off the other 2 after our first one came through. That's your framework, just a few steps. It is decide on your non-negotiables, call around and figure out all of the costs of the daycare centers and your options around you. Think of other options, decide together what you're going to do, and then get on a waiting list. All right, I hope that helped. That is how to get into a childcare center. That's how to figure out your childcare needs. Simple framework, works for everyone. Your non-negotiables are probably different than other people's non-negotiables. Some people love nannies, some people love home daycares. They all exist for a reason. They all exist because different families have different needs. I hope this helped. Follow me, subscribe, like, share, comment. I love it. I'm trying to help as many people as possible. I'll be creating more of these. Let me know what else you'd like to hear in the comments below. I'm listening, I'm learning, I'm helping, I'm adapting. By the way, we also have a group financial coaching program. And when I tell people that, their mind is blown. What do you mean group financial coaching? I've only ever heard of financial coaching one-on-one. Well, group financial coaching is when you come into a group of maximum 20 people. It's usually around, at this point in time, we're actually just starting, so it's around like a handful, just 3 or 4 people in a group session. We talk about wins, we talk about blockers. I ask you if we can review your budget during the session. If you're having issues, we talk about your questions and what isn't going well, what we can help with, and we dig in deep together. People learn a lot from other people, not just me. You can learn a lot from people who are going through the same thing you are. You can be encouraged, you can be motivated, you can get rid of your debt, all of it, just like us. It's helpful. It's fun. It's affordable. It's a lot like those diet group meetings where everyone's trying to lose weight together, except you're losing debt. It keeps you accountable. We do a little hand show. Who's tracking to your goals? Who's tracking your budget? How are you doing? Who's staying below budget this month? Oh, you're not raising your hand? What can we help you with? What's going on? Let's get into your situation. It's one-on-one in a group. So it's one-on-one a few times. Let me know what you think. If you'd like to learn more, the link is below. I hope this helps. I learn a lot from people in group coaching. I learn a lot from my clients who are one-on-one, and I'm so happy to help you learn to live and win with money, learn to get rid of your financial struggles and start living a lot less stressful life. Let's get you there. I'll see you in the next video.